Hello, my peeps. All right, I got four things going. Hi. I thought I'd start with this camera view just to see what it showed. Shows my camera. Maybe not the best view. It's using it for some reason. It's decided it's not going to pick up that camera when I go this way. It's picking up my camera from my laptop, which never really seems to focus. Although it does seem a little better today. Huh. Okay, well, in the interest of not having to change in the middle and hoping for the best, I'm going to go back to the ones that I know look clearer. I'm over here now. And then I can get all my stuff squared away and try to find my comments and see if they're happening, as opposed to ad block, which is what's showing up. And then we'll get started all official like. But first, I'm just trying to get everything going. I have my phone ready for comments, but I would really like to figure out why I cannot make the comments show up faster on the actual computer where I would be able to watch them better. And why every now and again they just randomly do. I got AI coach. I want an AI coach. AI freaks me out a little bit. Like I see the value of it. I see there's like reasons for it, and it can help you with like prompts and stuff. I don't like computers that talk, and I'm starting to think I don't like computers that talk for me. But I haven't, in all fairness, given it a like real good like try yet. So I guess I shouldn't do that. All right. Well, I got the chat on my phone because I don't have the chat on my computer. So let's see how that goes. And where am I going to put my phone now? I have to be careful how I arrange things on my desk today because, full disclosure, all I did was turn the sound down on the curling. I didn't actually turn the curling off. So that's going to be off to the side, and that's going to challenge Tracey to see how she does. Okay, I'm trying to find somewhere to put my phone that I can actually still see it. I have so much stuff to show you guys. There's things everywhere. Okay, well, let's just knocked it all over now. Just a minute. Okay, that's not gonna work. Okay, I'm putting it over here and hoping for the best. It's off to the side, which is weird, but I will also qualify at the beginning of this, just before you, based on behavior, you go with a different assumption. My big water glass is actually full of 1/3 cranberry juice, 2/3 bubbly water, non-alcoholic. I'm just naturally weird. I don't need alcohol. And yes, I usually drink tea, but I'm trying to drink a cup of cranberry juice every day. Good for the assistance, you know. Okay, I give up on the comments. I don't know why. Why? I'm sorry. I'm going to try one more thing before I start. What are we doing? 7:02. I'm not actually that bad as far as being on time. So, hello everyone. Tracey Stewart here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and the paper pusher. And today I have got what did I put on my post? A treat-a-palooza. I have got a treat-a-palooza of Easter treats to show you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I think I have 23 things to show you. When I start to play and I'm having fun, I can't stop myself. Plus, tiny bit of a hoarder, I guess. Some of these samples I have are from before. I just kept them so that I could have them as like reference if I wanted to make them again. And shockingly, some of them did not get completely squished, as most of my 3D samples do. So I got stuff to show you. But first, I'm waiting for this thing to show up. I have no camera right now. I'm going to find the right screen here to make sure I'm actually still showing you stuff that's on screen. Okay. So let's get my little papers with my reminders out. So today's the 5th. The 10th is Sunday. So you have till Sunday to get the March paper pumpkin kit, which is called Memorable Meadows. I knew it was something to do with meadows. With that amazing paper in it. It's 9 cards. And so you get the stamp set that comes with it that we haven't seen yet. There's big wooden embellishments that we have seen like a sneak of, well, demonstrators have, and they're this shape, but they're bigger than the die. They're awesome. These dies are still available. You also get this very large or like 2-step or 3-step. Maybe it's 2-step stamp that makes these big gorgeous flowers. So March being the birthday month, it's a kit to have, trust me. So you either need to subscribe so you get your own kit, or let me know so that I can get extra kits before the 10th. After the 10th, can't do anything about it. That's the one. I was all excited because it's the first Tuesday of the month. It's already the 5th. I was going to show you the 2 new kits. And today's demo, like on Tuesday mornings, is when the demos get their like weekly updates. And I went there today, and it said check back on the 7th, which is Thursday. And I will tell you, pet peeve of mine. Just put them in the weekly updates. Oh my. Anyways, I digress. So on Thursday, I will post the pictures of the new kits, and one of them I think is different. One of them, based on the little like teaser they gave us, which is the teaser I'll give you, it could be a game or something for adults. I'm not quite sure what that is, but I'm quite excited to see what the new kits are. Okay, I have my chat going on my computer now. I can see it. So let me just, I'm going to, I don't think I'm logged in. Okay, no, that'll take too long. Yeah, it was whatever the wording was. I'm like, one of the kits is going to be interesting. Okay, online exclusives. These are the ones that don't show up in any catalogs. Come out 3 times a year. You can see them on the computer only. You can order through me. You can order online. You can order on whatever. They just only show up there. They don't show up in a catalog. So I make this little flyer just to try to make it easier for you and put them in. Now, I did make one mistake. I'm surprised there's only one, but honestly. So the Simply Zinnia bundle is not $14.50. I actually looked it up and I forgot. I'm pretty sure it's $72, as most bundles are. I'm going to do it as I go. Oh, here, actually, you know what? Let me just show you this. When you go to the Stampin' Up page, I don't think anything weird will show up on my phone. So when you go to the Stampin' Up page, oh, there we go. I was going to say, it was said online exclusive, first thing I saw. So I used to know what this was called, like the main banner where like the few things go. So here's online exclusives, which is because it just came out today. Woo! It's like one of the top 3 stories kind of thing. So you can just click on there. But you can also go to the little hamburger up in the corner, and there's its own category for online exclusives. You can click there. Or if you go under shop under products, that's all great, except for I can't see this angle. There's online exclusives. You can click on it there. Now, the kits are online exclusives. They don't show up in catalogs. And then all these new products do. So, and then other things that maybe carry over from other catalogs. So basically, with online exclusives, you need to look on here, and if they're available, they'll show up, and if they're not, they won't. Now, you notice that already, this stamp set called Happy Little Things, which has a whole bunch of sentiments, and if you get the bundle, it's got 2 little dies to make the little flags, is already showing as low inventory. It was very popular. These adhesive back sequins were sold out even before this morning. So they're not available till the end of April. This one, when it goes out of stock, I have no idea how long it will take to get back. There is one other one that, okay, $71. Where is my pen? I must have some writing device somewhere. Okay, so this Simply Zinnias is actually $71 for the bundle. And it's like these bundles, these dies, oh my goodness, they knock it out of the park with the dies. Ooh. Okay, so on the Happy Things bundle, it's actually showing the dies on low inventory, not the stamp set. The dies take longer to come back in stock than the stamps, unless they have just ordered one and they're on their way. Yeah, something else is. Oh, Magnolia. The Magnolia Mood one, which has one of the most amazing dies in it. I saw somebody showed it, one of the other demonstrators ordered it in the pre-order and showed it and then cut it. And it was, oh my gosh, details and amazing. So these are going. I am putting in an order tonight when I'm done. And I could say, oh, hello, Tamara. Sorry. Oh, and there, you would have saved me the trouble because you said you already knew it was 71. Yeah, when I say after my live, I think on my post I wrote that I was doing it at 8 o'clock, but who am I kidding? By the time I finish, make enough space on my desk to see anything, it'll be sometime tonight. So if you want to get in on the group order, send me your stuff tonight. I had a rough start to my morning this morning because I got my son ready. He's getting ready. He's going on the bus. Everything's good. He leaves. He texts back and he said, "Are you sure the bus is coming?" And I said, yes. He goes, because, and this is, he's about to turn 16 on Thursday, same day as the kids. And he sends a text back going, because I'm the only one under 30 who's even out here. And I said, no, it doesn't say canceled. It says on time on the little app we get. So he's out there. And then all of a sudden, like 2 minutes later, and it's just before 8 o'clock, and his bus comes at like 8:03. I get a text, like a notification from the bus app telling me that 7:04 is canceled. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm not even dressed because I'm waiting till he's at the door. I'm going to have a shower. I'm going to get dressed. I got a whole long list to do today. So all of a sudden I run in, I throw on some clothes out of the door. I'm like, I'll meet you in the garage. Out I go. He's not there. I drive around the block. He's not there. I'm like, did I miss him? Text him. No. Get back, look at the thing. And his bus is 9:04. Now I should not get alerts for anything other than 9:04. So I'm not sure why I got an alert on 7:04, but I didn't look close enough. And so I was like, oh. So then I got home, I'm fully dressed now. And I was like, well, do I get undressed to have a shower to get dressed again? Or do I just sit? So my whole day has been like, just because anyways. So yeah, by the time I get everything wrapped, my brain wrapped around everything, who knows what I'll be doing tonight. Upcoming classes. This is next Thursday, midweek card escape. We're using some of the kits. It's a nice, easy night. The registration includes one of the drinks. You can get just about anything on the menu. And they are good. I have tried multiple things. Oh my goodness, they are so good. Grab some kits, make 3 different cards. You got lots of variety. I got lots of Easter ones left over. Chat. We have a great old time. We chat, we eat, we drink, and we make some cards. Lots of fun. My 2 classes coming up that I all of a sudden couldn't figure out what I did with the cards for. That I see, let's see what registration, end of the month to register for perennial. I'm running the classes. If I don't get enough registrations and I cancel the class, I think I'm going to start offering some of just like the card packs, like, so just all the consumable cardstock stuff to go with them. But yeah, I'm not paying for the room without registrations, basically. So that's what's going on. This is a perennial lavender. And these are the 4 classes we're doing. This is a double, like 2 bundle set. Oh, I have so much fun. I could make I have more of these. These are just the ones that I picked to make for there. So those are those ones. So make sure you register. I have to leave this in front because I need to show you something later. And this is Trusty Tools, which is in May. You got a bit more time to RSVP on those, but I want to keep those on your radar as things get busy. Oh. I saw the 5th of May up here, and then when I looked here, I saw the 16th of April, and all of a sudden I thought, oh my God, did I plan this class on the 16th of May? Because the 16th of May is a Thursday. I didn't. Love this bundle. Lots of fun with this bundle. And yes, I stocked up on enough DSP during Celebration that I can make all these cards with this DSP. So, just a minute. I got one more paper under there. Our spring extravaganza is half sold out. So you have till the end of the month to register. I'm doing the math, mental gymnastics, the whole bit. We're trying to figure out how much we can get the most possible stuff in these packages, make it work. Some good projects. We will know in about 2 weeks. What's today, the 5th? Ooh, that's a pretty good guess. 1 day shy of 2 weeks, we get to see this catalog. So then we'll have a much better idea, and probably within a week of that, we'll give you some more information. I know. Woohoo! Extravaganza! All right, so that's business stuff. Oh my God, I actually kept it to the 15 minutes I was supposed to. Now, which of the 23 projects shall I show you first? Yes, it's that bad. Okay. So it's Easter season is coming up. And yes, I made a bunch of Easter bits and pieces last week that I was showing you. I don't normally send a lot of Easter cards, the odd one, and sometimes I get requests for them. I do make a lot of Easter treats to give people, though. And one of the most common ones, and I have all these little things here, are Easter baskets. Okay, just a minute. I have a lot of them. So I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to do. Just when I got to find the right one. So these 2 baskets are baskets I had made before, many times, and then we made these at our last extravaganza. And when we did that, I made a PDF for it. So other than the one error I saw in the PDF, I still have a PDF for these 2 baskets, as you will notice on this PDF. So I haven't quite figured out getting a PDF onto Facebook. So what I've decided is, if you want this PDF, you need to send me a message with an email address and I will email it to you. Because the frustration level of dealing with technology when it doesn't do what I want, I've had more than enough of that already this week. So if you want the PDF afterwards, I will send it, but I'm going to show you the basics. There's a couple different ways of doing it. So you notice, let's see if I can get these all going in the same screen at once without spilling everything on the desk. You notice that we have pointy ones, and we have, this one is simply just trimmed off. We have handles that go to the side, handles that go to the front. This one has a bit more detail, which I thought I could show you on this lovely basket. Oh, I can. This is the Wild Wheat in color designer series paper. This is a little 6x6 piece. And I thought this kind of almost looks like a basket. So, but it didn't quite turn out to look as basket-like as I thought, but I do quite like it. It's just undecorated because I wanted you to be able to see, because I'm going to show you really quickly how to make one of these, that this is just cutting two of the flaps on each side in half. So there's many different ways you can do it. The other thing that you can do is, the original one I think was designed to use, like you're using 12x12 paper and you want to get, like, make this big chunky. I put candy in them with the intent that you'd get an idea how big they were if you could see candy in them. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, well. Oh, there it is right there. So here's one of the Easter cream eggs, which I swear are smaller than when they first came out. I think these used to be bigger than they were. It's a good thing they're not, because they're just like, as much as every now and again, I'll have like one of these per Easter, and they are just 100% sugar. They make your teeth like scream. But yeah, just to give you an idea of how big they are, a couple of boxes of the little Smarties in here. And I will tell you, these little Smarties, squirrel. So sometimes, you know, when you see a box of treats and you think, oh my God, that's so cute. But it's just the box that's Easter, and you open them up and you're disappointed because inside they just look like regular Smarties. These ones do not. These ones do not disappoint, because these ones look like the front of the box. Look, there's cute little faces. There's a blue and a pink one and a green one. And aren't they not adorable? Now the back looks a bit like the Smartie thing. And so they're just regular Smarties, but they are way cuter than, you know, a regular old Smartie box. The only thing I'm going to recommend is, if you're buying these and you count and you're like, okay, I need exactly 30, maybe be careful if that's what you order, because for some reason, this is what one of my boxes look like. Now, this box was inside this box. So how this box got this mangled, I don't know. This poor little chick. And he like, you can kind of like try to pop it out, and he looks a little bit better, but he maybe like chick on a bender. I don't know. I know. And so this 30 boxes, I did order off Amazon for, I want to say like $8, but I don't actually know. I have no idea. I don't remember. But anyways, I needed these for a very specific event that I'm going to in a couple of weeks that I'm really looking forward to. But you have an idea how big Smarties are and the little eggs, right? So that gives you an idea. This is one of the Arrow little things. So it's a pretty good size treat, which I think I showed you this before. I was really hoping that I could put the Arrow lamb in the Arrow thing, but my punch was not quite big enough. So plan your treats ahead of time. But this one is a narrower one. So the only real difference, I will take pictures of all of these just so you can get different ideas of what they look like and design and stuff. I don't like that plastic grass that comes in stuff. So I make my own out of cardstock. I just fold it up and then cut it into strips. But even that kind of annoys me. It's right up there with glitter. I don't like glitter either. I don't like things that I knock all over my desk and make a big mess, because as you notice, I knock things over all the time. Okay. But it's better just to fill it with stuff, because then you don't need filler. But if you don't have enough stuff in it, or if you make the big ones and it's going to cost you, you know, $10 a basket to fill it, you don't want to do that. So here's the thing. To make the skinny basket, I don't have an empty big basket. No, I'm just going to keep dumping stuff out. Okay, I'll take the eggies out, because that's the easiest thing to take out. Okay, so to make the wider basket, you need a 6x6 paper, and you're going to score it at 2 and 4 and 2 and 4. Now, to make the handle, you need an extra piece of DSP, or you could use cardstock, you could use ribbon, but you can't get it out of this 6x6 paper. So if it so happens that you have an entire pack of paper and it looks something like this, and you already have a whole bunch of scraps anyways, it's easy enough just to grab an extra piece. So I'm going to make the wider one. If you all you have to work with, or the paper you want to work with, maybe that's a better way to put it, is 6 by 6, then you simply cut a 3/4 inch strip off the DSP to begin with, and then this is still like 2 and 2, but instead of cutting this 2 inches wide, you cut it 1 1/4 inches. No, you cut it 3/4. And then you get this narrower. Sorry, in my head that made more sense, but it's only 3/4 wide, but then you get the little piece that makes the handle. If you're using just a short handle, you can't really reach it from this side to this side like you can on the bigger one, because on the bigger ones, if you have 12-inch, like 12 by 12 DSP, you can make a big long strip, so you can make the handle side to side. But these little ones made out of, if you start with a 6 by 6 piece and you make the narrow one, you can either like just use one piece of 6 by 6, or you can get 4 baskets out of one 12 by 12. So that's really the most economical one if you're making a bunch. I'm just going to show you this one because it's easier to show you what I want to show you. Okay, so here's the other thing. And the reason I picked this paper, and the reason we're going to experiment together, because I like to experiment. I like to have my fails done publicly and live. Is you should really use non-directional paper. Now this is kind of non-directional. Like, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I could put it whatever way I wanted, really. Oops, I was trying to go upside down. There we go. But theoretically, it is kind of got a horizontal pattern to it. But I'm going to see how it looks. Now, one, it's just paper, so I'm not really worried about it. But two, this is like maybe my favorite package or pattern out of the package, which if I could hold it so you'd see, looks like a whole bunch of little daisies. So if I'm wrong, I can always just flip it over, but I think it'll be right. So we're going to see. So like I said, to make the bigger baskets, which are the ones I need to make a whole bunch of, they are super easy. So I'm going to score at 2, and I'm going to score at 4. They're not just easy. You can make so many of these in such a short time. And then I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. And I am going to score at 2. And I'm going to score at 4. There we go. So like I said, if you only had 6 by 6 to work with and you wanted the matching handle, you cut 3/4 off first. You still do the 2 and the 4, but then you go 2 1/4, 2 1/4, and you got like a little 3/4 inch strip in the middle instead of 2. It's that easy. And don't worry, if I did that too fast, just send me a message and I'll send you a PDF. Hello, Sonia. Messy stamper. We'll get along just great. I hide most of the mess, but oh boy, it's definitely there. Okay, so here's what I did. I scored it. I basically just have like a bunch of 2-inch squares on here, right? So where'd my scissors go? I'm taking out my big fancy left-handed scissors. So all I'm going to do is on opposite sides, I'm going to cut these 2 score lines. And I'm going to cut these 2 score lines. And I'm basically just cutting up to the first score line. Now, I bend these together so the points go together. Oops, sorry. I put the flap on the inside. I bend these so the 2 points go together. One side's done. Put the flap in. Bend these 2 points together. And the other side's done. Right? That's how easy these go together. Now, it is your choice. I have to find my basket, just a minute. So you can do little things like this. Put a little flower die cut on them. Put your little circle greeting over top of them. This one has a bigger flower over top of it. So you can do various things to hide. I'm trying to find one that I didn't hide. There we go. To hide where the handle goes in. Or honestly, you could just leave it the way it is, because that's fine. This is the back, because on the front I've actually got something there. But it's not like it's like horrible looking or anything. So I don't think you have to go out of your way. Sorry, I told you I knock things over constantly. Well, I just knocked a whole bunch of stuff over. Just a minute. Because seriously, I have about 23 things on here to show you. So it doesn't really matter which way you do it. You can, on my picture I will have shown you, I put a piece of tear and tape here. I put this on the inside with tear and tape here, so you have solid, and then I just match it up, right? So I tend to bury my handle into the middle of it. I also think maybe that makes the handle a bit stronger. But if you put your basket together and you've forgotten the handle, we'll just put it on the inside. Does not matter. If you want to put it on the outside, you can put it on the outside. You can put something over top of it. You can put a brad in there. The world is your oyster. All you want to do is give this little curl, which you could use a bone folder because you're far less likely to paper cut yourself. And that's it. That's how the basket goes together. Right? Now, I'm totally fine with this pattern. Some places it's going one direction. Some places it's going another. I quite like it. I'm going to stick with it. But what I'm going to show you is if you want to take this one and turn it into this basket that has a little more detail to it. Oh, we got more people. Sorry, I'm not doing a very good job with the comments. Hello, Ida. Nice to see you live. So here's my original basket that I cut, right? Now, depending on your preference, you could measure, or you could be Tracey and you could just eyeball and cut these flaps in half. So basically, instead of 2 inches, they'd be 1 inch. And you will see that when you get your basket together, it doesn't really matter because you don't really notice it. But if you wanted to, you're just cutting those same 2 outside flaps on either side at 1 inch. We're basically cutting them in half. So now these 2 are still my solid pieces. These are my little flaps now, right? So now, and this time I will actually put some tape on it because it's much easier to show you when it's not flopping around. So I'm a tear and tape person. I'm trying to use glue more. I do find lately I use seal a whole lot less. I'm getting frustrated with the seal. But I'm doing a lot better, thanks to Dana. I am doing a lot better with my white glue. And you say, what did Dana have to do with that? Dana gave me this cute little glue bottle, which makes it so much easier. So I do find that I use it more, but for speed and just for sheer durability, I do like tear and tape for a lot of things. Okay. So now, instead of putting just like one tab up, I'm going to start with the inside ones. I'm going to fold them up so that the 2 points match, right? And I'm doing that sort of independent of the sticky part that I just put down. And then once I have the 2 points matched up, I'm just going to push them into the tear and tape. I'm doing the same thing with this one. I'm taking these 2 points, I'm matching them up, and as soon as they're matched up, I'm sticking them into the tear and tape. Now this one I can see is a little floppy, so I probably should have put some tear and tape on the back of that one. But all the rest of them seem to go into the tear and tape that I put on there. What I should have done one half of this basket one way and one half the other way. It would have made a great sample. So there's my basket with a bit more detail. Now, one of my baskets, this basket, I made them fairly level, right? I just buried one more and made the top of it level. When I made this basket, it didn't line up quite as well on the narrower one. So all I did was I put it together, and then even with the handle in there, just pushed the handle all the way, and I just trimmed the top off so it looked better. Like I gave a little trim around the edge. Super easy baskets. You can make them work however you want, and then you just decorate them up and put stuff in them. So those are fantastic. That is treat number 1. Oh my goodness, we're at 7:30. So many things to show you. Okay. Okay, so some of them I'm not actually going to tell you how I made every single one of these. I'm just going to show you a whole bunch of samples and then sort of show you how I made the general part of them. I'm going to make maybe one of them if I can, just to give you an idea. And then I'm going to try to put some make some, all of a sudden I forgot the word. Like make a template. Sorry, that was the word I was looking for. Make a template, like make a new one, make a template, and just take pictures of it that I will share with you. As I go along, though, I got tips. So if you watched last week, I told you there was 2 things that I wanted to do. When I saw the egg bundle, I instantly thought of a specific card, which is still on the desk in front of me. Oh, there it is. So this is one of the cards I wanted to make. As soon as I saw the bundle, I'm like, I'm going to make a card that says there's no bunny like you with a bunch of brown bunnies and one bright bunny in the middle. That was one of the first things I saw when I saw that card, or that bundle. The second thing I saw was a egg treat holder. Now this is from 2019, and I know it's from 2018, sorry. And I know that because, or maybe it is 2019. It was the last time On Stage was live in Vancouver. It was right before the pandemic. And then we didn't have live since. The one live that was there, I was unable to go to. So this is the last like live On Stage I went to. And I made these little thank yous and gifts, put that the right way, for like like the other people at the table and presenters and stuff. And this reminds me of like the old school $1.49 day Woolworths. Which one had $1.49 day? Woolco or Woolworths? This is one of them. And we used to get like the heart shapes at Valentine's and Easter shapes, where it was basically just two pieces of cardboard with a box stuck in the middle. So these are the ones I made. I don't remember exactly which butterfly this came from. This was the tulip punch, the Mary Fish tulip punch. And I just cut little tulips to make it springy. So this was the original version. And I was like, oh, I can make better versions with the egg. So then I started making some different versions with the eggs. So, and you can make them in whatever size. Like there's 3 different sizes of egg die cuts, and you can make them a bunch of different ways. So the basics of how they get made really are the same as any punch, any die cut you make. Here's some super teeny tiny ones, right? This was the tulip punch. I'm not actually sure which little oval the punch this was, but it was an oval punch, and then I just added stuff on. This treats that you gave me. I have so many little like treat holders that I save. I so loved making the treat holders. Somebody asked me, hey, would you do just like a treats only class? Yes, I will. Please sign me up. So I do. I absolutely love it. And I probably give out, like, hand people more treat holders than I actually hand people cards, because I love to make them. So anyways, there's all sorts of them. And you'll notice though, the system is the same, right? If about this time last year when we got the new ones, I made tacos. I see something and I see treat holders. So there's many ways you can do it. The easiest way is just putting a strip of paper. You can see, right? The strip of paper that goes between the 2 pieces. Oh, thank you, Sonia. Seriously, treats are my jam. I love making treats. Look at these bunnies. I can't get over how cute these bunnies are. And if you also love to color, then these little guys are good. I'm trying to hold it so it'll focus, but maybe not. And I didn't even put like much on here. I just colored this like a cute little scene. The background coloring on here is sea foam, so I made the card, or the egg sea foam. And this one, I moved my treats. I got little bits and pieces of treats. Some of these treats, these eggs are probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old. So if you're ever in my office, don't eat the candy in the treat holders. There is no guarantee it was bought this decade even. So yeah, this one you could fit a few more things in. This is a nice open treat holder that you could do many different things with. Which is, I got them all upside down. I don't know which one's which. So this is just a bigger version. So this is what I had started to make the last time. All I did was add my little bunny, because I lost him on my desk when I was doing it the other day. I love this, like put the 2 of them together with the little things. I didn't even want to cover any of it up, but I did feel like he needed something. So he's got his little chocolate bunny. So this is the same idea. You can see that this is just a piece of paper that I have scored between the 2 pieces that's open on top, that this treat fits in. Now, the one thing I will tell you when you're planning your things and you're deciding what you want to make, these adorable little like bags of gummy bears are really light. Where'd my Kit Kat guy go? These little Kit Kat bunnies that my son loves, I happen to have them for him. They're much heavier. Like they're not very big as far as like the container goes, but they are much heavier. And when you try to put said Kit Kat dude in here, it just knocks your thing over. So the only other option, like you could trim these off. Like I have mine where they're not totally on the bottom. You could trim them off. Scallop punch and take out. Oh, you wait. Great minds think alike. You wait till we get to my tag somewhere here. You could trim these to make them flat. So they sit on the bottom. You could put your box a bit lower, so it might stick out a bit of your design, but so it sits like it will actually sit. If not, you just have to make sure that you pick lighter candy, or even if the candy's heavier, if it's a bunch of smaller pieces where you can kind of shift it a bit, it stays. But not every treat is going to fit in every container. I guess that was the point I was trying to get to. So I'll drop those on the floor. So this is the open one, which we did, which I'll show you in a minute. And then this one was so these were the ones I was making with the fancy cutouts. And I will tell you that I made these other ones that I made during the live, where instead of making them all scalloped and all, I just like made 3 eggs, cut them in half and matched them up. I like these just as much, maybe better, but I really love these colors, so that maybe as these fronts. So all I did was take these fronts that I had made and made them into boxes. Now my box opens like this. And instead, I don't know why I made that other one white. Like these ones blend in a bit better. This one I made square, thinking that I could put, seriously, I keep moving my candy around, that I could put 4 eggs in. I don't actually know what I did with the other. There's eggs in one of these other containers. I don't know which one it's in. Oh, just a minute. I'll take one of these eggs. So I thought if I made it square, I could fit 4. And you kind of can, but it's a little bit squishy. So 3 might work better. And the one thing you do have to watch is if this is super heavy and you put your lid on and you try to pick it up by the lid, you're instantly pulling the lid off. The lid is made just a slightly bigger, and so that it's snug, but not so that it gets stuck every time you try to put it on. But if you pick it up by the lid, you're just leaving the bottom behind because the candy is way heavier than the paper. But you can get them in, and I just wanted to see if I could make it a square. This is really just a square box stuck between 2 pieces. This is not hard, but the open-ended ones are definitely the easier ones, and that's what I'm going to show you real quick here in a minute. But I will show you the one thing I did. And if you really, really love somebody and you really, really want to make them something special, then you should really make them one of these. Will I mass produce these? Heck no. The math, the going back and forth, the glue, the trying, the pieces. Now, I do like how he turned out. I do think he's awfully cute. But he was a pain in the butt. But I made it so that the top comes off of the ball. That's where I put the other eggs. So, but there was a lot of trial and error and getting the whole thing. So yes, you can make it so the egg opens from the top. And you don't have to have a different color strip. You could just use the same color strip. So yeah, super cute, super fun. But it was a, well, now that I've made one, it won't be nearly as hard, but it was a bit of a pain in the butt. And they don't quite line up. Like they're a little bit wonky from the side. But anyways, that's what I did. So very quickly, this one I got, there we go. I will show you, that's not the right one. I've lost the back because I used something else for it. Well, we're just going to do it this way. You have a couple different options. I've lost my piece of paper that I was going to use with this. Oh, I'm going to make it blue, I guess. That should be big enough. So regardless of which piece of, and I'll show you real quick. So here's a t-shirt that has the same thing in it. Here's a slanted candy, or like slanted edge coffee or teacup, same idea. Here is a square edge teacup, same idea. Here is I told you I like these things, they're all over my desk. Here is one of the old Stampin' Up, or like the aprons from the barbecue kit. Same idea, right? So it does not matter what shape you start with or what size it is. See, knocking things over and candy everywhere. I bet you these hearts are 4 years old. They're hard to find now. So I just keep the old ones in there. Not nearly as hard to find as Lifesavers though. Holy cow. Okay, so here's what you do. And I usually just have a piece of scrap paper. Or yes, see how small these stickies are? Okay, when I show you the bunny treat bag, this is what I worked it out on. This tiny little sticky. Yeah, that's how most of them go. What did I do with my ruler? There goes my ruler. So this is really all you have to do is you just need to take whichever piece you're using and measure out what you want. In the end, you're going to start with a thin strip of cardstock, right? And you're going to figure out how wide you need it. So in this case, I decided 3/4 was good. I'm going to do a 1/2 inch just because I did 3/4 on all the other ones. Just to see what fits in it, because I'm kind of curious now. So my little strip down the middle, which is how wide it's going to be, is going to be a 1/2 inch. I like 3/8 on either side of it. You can make this however you want, but the part that actually sticks, sorry, I'm off screen. The part that actually sticks here, like this piece that folds over and sticks to it, I like 3/8 because that's what fits tear and tape the best. A 1/4 I find is too small, and a 1/2 is too big, but you can easily do that. So, and 3/8 and 3/8 makes 3/4, right? So it's easy enough to add into the math because I don't like to complicate things math-wise. So once you figure out this, that's kind of your middle strip, right? Now you just need to figure out where do you want the sides to go? Like where do you want the actual box to go? So in this case, I'm going to go and make sure when you're doing it, like this one is wider in the middle. So if you started here and went, oh great, I can make it 2.5 inches wide. You know, I'm going to turn this over just so you can see because that white's kind of hard to see. I added this when I cut the pieces out, for those who missed the other one. When I cut these pieces out, I just attached them to like printer paper so that if I was putting these on a card front, they weren't super thick. Now, when I did make this one into a box, I actually put, so this one actually has these outside strips, then the white printer papers in between, and then I did actually put another blue one in just to make it a bit more durable. And so it wasn't white on the inside, but because I buried my other piece somewhere. So yeah, it's not normally white on the inside of the cardstock, but just so in case you're wondering, but I'm going to do it this way so you can actually see. Okay, so if I decide, oh look, 2.5 inches, I can go 2.5 inches wide. Drag your ruler down because at about this point, 2.5 inches is going off your egg. So you can't. So whatever size you decide, like in this case, I would say the widest we want to go, and if you want to go all the way to the bottom, actually, you know what I just decided we're going to do? I'm going to show you what it looks like if you square it off and stick it outside the bottom of the egg, just so you can see. I don't do that very often because I like to try to bury my stuff and I find a way to make it stand up, but I'll show you. So in this case, let's go with 1.5 inches. Okay, so I want the bottom part to be 1.5 inches. Okay, and it doesn't matter that my drawing is not at all accurate. It just gives me an idea what I'm doing. So this is the bottom, 1.5 inches. So now how far up the sides do I want to go? I absolutely love my ruler because it's got inches and centimeters on both sides. And the one starts at this end and the one starts at this end. So depending on which way I'm trying to measure, I can always figure it away. This is a godsend when your desk is always a mess and you don't have enough space. So to go from where my bottom of my box is going to go to this purple line is 2.25. So I'm going to go with 2.25 because I don't want to go too much higher because then it'll start looking weird on the top. Okay, so that's all you're doing. You're measuring this piece to figure out what you're going to go between. So now I've done my thing. 3/8 and 3/8 is 3/4, plus a 1/2 is 1.25 inches. And then I have 2.25 and 2.25 is, what did I just say? 4.5, 5, 6, 6. So I just add my measurements together. So I need a strip that is 6 inches long by 1.25 inches wide. I am really hoping that this piece here is 6 inches long. No, it is not. Okay. Well, guess what? Let's pretend that I purposely decided to do this for contrast. And we're going to use this color. I think, you know what I think I did? I think I was planning to use that strip, and then I cut the bunnies out of it because I was testing something else. Okay. So we're using this one. It'll be easier to see. So 6. I'm trying to see if I have one that is actually the color, any one of those 3 colors that is anywhere nearby. I do not. 6 by 1.25 inches. 1.25 inches. So I like to start. Sometimes I will tell you, sometimes your paper gets really small depending what you're making. Like when I was making these guys, these are very tiny little strips of paper. Sometimes if you're making a whole bunch of them, it is actually easier to oh, thank you, Sonia. It is actually easier to say, okay, I'm going to make 10 of them. So here's my piece of paper and score it all first before you cut it, because then you're not trying to score tiny little pieces of paper. In this case, this one's a pretty good size, so I'm okay. So now I know that I want to score, like I want to score to match my picture, right? So there's my 3/8. 1, 2, 3/8. I'm going to score that. And I'm going to flip it when I'm using my trimmer in general, but certainly when I'm doing the boxes, I use this part way more than I use this part because a lot of the measurements are small, and I find it way easier to do it this way than it is to do it the other way. Okay, so I've got my 2 3/8 inch strips. That gives me half an inch down the middle, and then I want 2 1/4 for my one side, and I want 2 1/4 for my other side. I almost never like measure this way along and put out the arm and everything. I tend to just flip things around. So there we go. We've figured out our measurements. Now we've cut and scored what we wanted. Now we just have to assemble. So what I will tell you is it is much easier to sacrifice a little bit of tear and tape. If you're using glue, you would want to trim first if you're using liquid glue, but if you're using tear tape, put the tear and tape on first before we do this next step, because it is way easier than trying to put tear and tape up against the little angled edges. You'll see in a minute. Okay. So I'm going to fold this just so I can see where it is I'm putting things. So basically what we've made is we've just made this little box that's going to go between the two pieces. But we need to be able to fold this in. So we got to fix these two junctions. So I take my scissors that it's okay to cut sticky with. And all I'm doing is mitering these corners. So I'm cutting at a pretty good angle, and I'm cutting chunks out of the corner. So like I said, if you're using liquid glue, cut first. If you're using tear and tape, do this. Because if you do it the other way, when you try to put the tear and tape on, your tendency is going to be to end back here because it's too hard to get it in that tiny little point, and then you don't have solid coverage. So it's easy enough just to cut the little wedges out. And I'm not measuring these. I'm not doing anything. I mean, I have a pretty good idea from having made 100 of them or more. But the whole idea is you want to make it so that when you put this in between and you fold it up like this, there's no overlap on the cardstock, right? Because if you made it, make that work. Nope, just a minute. I'm trying to recreate just that corner, but I'm not with the scrap without scoring it. There we go. So if you didn't miter out those corners, when you went to put them together, you'd have this much cardstock overlapping, right? You know, this. So it's thicker, bulkier. It sits much flatter. It attaches much stronger when adhesive hits the whole thing, right? So that's all we're doing. So now you just take your front or take your back, whichever way you want to start. And you're just going to peel off. You know what? Yeah, I guess I'm sacrificing these 8s because I don't really want to see the white paper, but I know I'll never finish if I don't put this together this way. So then we're going to go with yes, I have a take your pick tool sitting right there, but no, I'd rather struggle to try to peel the adhesive off. So here's the assembly part. I've taken my tear and tape off. So if you're using liquid glue, you're going to put the liquid glue on at this stage. Now it is up to the individual. Do you want to put glue on all the tabs? Do you want to pull the backing off all of the tabs? I live on the wild side. I pull all the backing off at once. Now, I made this so that it was just a bit wider than the bottom. So when I go to line it up, I'm going to line it up square. And I'm putting it just past the bottom. And then I'm pushing down here. Right? So I'm starting at the bottom, regardless of whether I'm burying it higher up or putting it along. I'm always putting it. I'm holding like these little tabs in and I'm putting it down. Now I have not pushed on this very hard. I've just kind of set it there so that I can kind of look at it. And I look from above to make sure it is somewhat square. I'm getting some shadows in there. It is somewhat square. Where'd my little guy go? On this one, I purposely made it so that it's not square. So that I started from the bottom and then I spread it out as wide as I could go. So that I could fit certain things in it, like the chocolate egg that I was going to put in there. That was like, because it's egg shaped, right? So it'll fit it. If you want it square to hold like a certain thing, if you purposely want to make it like flared, then do that. But in this case, I want it to go straight. So that's what I did. So now I know I'm squared away. So I'm just going to use my bone folder and I'm going to get it. So this is what it's going to look like with little pieces sticking out. But when I put this together, even half done, this thing now stands up, right? So it's not the end of the world to be able to see it. And if you wanted to do this so it was nice and sturdy so you could get it to stand up, here we go, then just put your bunny lower down or put your bunny off to the side and put a little thing here and you can cover up whatever you need. If you need this thing to be this wide, make it that wide and just decorate it to hide the corners. Right. So that is basically how these, and then I did the same thing on the back. I just peel the pieces off. I put it like this. I line it up. I put it down roughly to begin with. Then I kind of hold it and square it away and look, make sure it's normal. And then I just squish it together with the things, right? So yeah, this one's much narrower. Where'd my Kit Kat guy go? But the Kit Kat guy still fits in there. He might be like a little bit pushing on the thing, but the Kit Kat guy fits in there. But I bet you even half a thing, the Kit Kat guy. So that little bit of a square bottom makes it so this heavy Kit Kat guy fits in here. So maybe this will be my son's egg that he gets his Kit Kat in. Okay. In the interest of time, sorry if you missed the beginning, it's cranberry juice. I should say that too, just as you see me chug. Okay. Oh, here's one of the other ones I did. Remember this old set? I still haven't parted with it. It's called Basket something. I don't remember. I love this little basket. It's the same idea. This one's gotten beaten up quite a bit. So there's another little shape you can put things between. Now, if you don't have a ton of time and you want to crank out some quick treats, I will put the measurements down. It might take me a day or two because I was writing them on all sorts of little stickies as I measured them to try to make it. So like I said, I will take pictures of the individual items and then I will try to get a picture. The picture beside it, honestly, is going to look something like this. It's going to be hand drawn with measurements. But I think if you watch the video and then all you need is the measurements, it'll make it work. These little crosses, are they not adorable? I'm not a very religious person. I'm not at all religious person. I guess that's actually a better way to say that. But I get asked frequently at Easter for more religious nature treats. So I made this the one year and I was racing around all afternoon trying to find, because I know somewhere in this house I have Ferrero Rocher, because I think a Ferrero, I can't say it, but I have them. I think a Ferrero Rocher will also fit in here. This was designed originally to fit these nuggets, and it fits so perfectly on this nugget that this nugget is not even like glued in there. It's the exact dimension to squish in a little nugget. And all it is 2 pieces of cardstock that are folded or like scored in enough places. And then the hardest part of making these is you need to take 2 little things that go on here that you put lots of glue on, that you bend your stuff into, and then you squeeze it between like this and you hold it till it dries. So your cross holds its shape. But it's a very quick, easy, if you needed to make, 50 treats for somebody at church, you just need something little to put here. And if it doesn't fit as snug as this, then put like a little glue dot under it and it will stay in there. But yeah, and this is a very old one. This, I don't even know, Easter Blessings, it might have been from the Teeny Tiny Things Wishes or whatever. That's one thing that's very quick. Where'd my other one go? Here's one of the other ones I love. I made a whole bunch of these one year, and each one of these little plastic eggs had like little jelly beans or various different things in it, and then I just made them into a whole bunch of bunnies and put them in a basket. Now these things, no matter how you do them, they're not sitting. So one, that makes them more fun to make. But so yeah, they look really good though in a basket of stuff or in a bowl or on something. The trick to not losing your mind while you're making them is to save things. So this is the inside of a glue dot roll, and I saved these. I have them beside my desk. And you think, okay, really? Do you save them? Yes, really, I saved them. Now, I use these to make hats. Later in the week, or actually probably next week, I will show you my my leprechaun hat that it was made off my version of the snowman hat. So they come in very handy for making those. When we had the snow dome thingies, and you were trying to like put stuff in them, they work for this. Any kind of ornament shaped thing, so many different things. These things are the cat's meow. They also work when you're doing this to put your treats in so you can tie the bow around them. This is, again, 2 pieces of paper. I kind of just sort of bent them at the bottom, trying to see if I could like make it stand up, but the bottom of both eggs are round. There was nothing making this thing stand up. If you put square candy in it somehow, probably wouldn't have the same look and feel, but it would probably work. And then the pieces just go up and they fold into ears. So once you get these pieces stuck together, which is very easy to do, tying the bow on is the hardest part. But if you put your egg in the little holder, it will stay still while you tie on your bow. So that's all this is. This is a 3/4 inch strip, and I did write it down somewhere, so I will find it to put with the picture. But yeah, this was made with a 6x6. I wanted to see how small. I needed smaller to begin with because this egg looked ridiculous in these ears. But I wanted to know, hey, if I only have 6x6 paper, in what world do I only have? I have so much DSP. Put it on the off chance I only had 6x6. Would it work? And it does. It just makes cuter little ears. And then I also wanted to put like a little bit thicker ribbon on it just to see. And this is so, like this bow is so predominant in here. I think it's so cute this way. So you could certainly, the ribbon is to kind of hold it together a little bit, but more just to give it a kind of a cute look than it is. It's less structural, but I like, it's the only decoration on here, right? Like this one I put a tag on, but the other one, it's just the bow. So go for it. Make it a big, cute thing. Let's see. But yeah, save these. Okay, here's another save these things. Because I have all this. This wasn't even planned. This is just stuff on my desk. Some of our twine, I don't know if any of it still does, but some of it used to come in these rolls. I saved these rolls as well. You know when this roll came in really handy? When the lovely Dana gave me this glue bottle. Well, I like my white glue to sit upside down. So the amazing Tamara gave me a nail polish holder, which fits my big like green and white bottle of Tombow. But then I got this little guy. So I needed to make something that I could put my glue bottle in. So this is an empty roll from twine. This is a deckled circle of some size. I don't even know. I'm going to go with 1 3/4. Let's see how good of a guesser I am. Oh, 1 3/4. Not that it matters that I guessed right. I'm just really good at estimating things in like the center of stuff. That's why I tend to not measure and just do. And yeah, I just glued it down with said glue, glued the bottom on so it sits like this. And so now my little bottle sits upside down. And if I'm actually making projects, I pop the little lid off and it sits like this the whole time. And then when I'm done, I just put the lid back on. But it spends its life upside down. So waste not, want not. Oh, I have 3 minutes. Okay. Okay. So as Tamara mentioned, sometimes you just need a tag. I'm not sure what container. Like I don't have a die cutter or something that's big enough. Like this is a long M&M tube. So sometimes you just want to tie on a tag, or if you were making a basket, you just want to tie on a tag. So yes, this is one of the things I think is just the funniest. The bunny with his ears bit off, and you could like put Happy Easter or put something else, but I just thought, it's funny. So all I did was punch my Easter bunny out, and then I have an old retired scalloped punch that I punched his ears with to make it look like teeth marks. But you could also just do it with your scissors, and it will look just as cute. So that's one, very easy to make a tag. I'm not going to have time to show you because I want to show you something else in here because it's very helpful. Another way you can make a tag, where'd my piece of paper go, is to actually make the tag. Now this one looks like I made a boo-boo by cutting it off. But what I actually did was I made it so that it's hinged. And this one was tougher. I was like, should I put the hinge here? Should I put the hinge? Like, where should I put the hinge? I decided I was going to put it at the top because I was going to punch a hole for the ribbon up here. But to make a hinged card, and it doesn't matter where you put it, all you have to do is take your piece of paper, your cardstock, score it down the middle, fold it in half, and then decide where to line up your die. Wherever you line up your die where your die is just over top of that so that it's not actually cutting through is where you will get your hinge. And then I just taped it so it wouldn't move. I could have done it at the bottom the easiest, but then the card would open from them. That seemed weird. But that's all I did. So now I can take this, I can punch my hole in the back. And what I decided I was going to do so that I wasn't always looking at the, hey, it looks like you made a mistake, was I was just going to take one of my other guys and put it over top. Now this works twofold, because this is one of the ones where when I showed you on the last one, sometimes the dies moved after I put them in. And so I got some wonky layers. I love how the wonky layers look. But in this case, when the wonky layers all go together, I have this like divot on the side here. So I have a wonky egg with wonky layers. But I love the like whimsical, wacky look of this. But if I stick this on top of this tag, it now covers the problem here and it covers the problem here. Because even though this is just blue behind, it takes away like that empty space. And now my egg doesn't look so wacky anymore. So that's all I'm going to do is just make a little thing. But now I have a hinge tag. And then just decorate it up. The other thing you can do if like, let's say I wanted to use my little wacky layers for my box and I was trying to do this, just cover it so that some part of the part that's wonky is covered. You don't even have to cover the whole thing. Like just putting ears there, or this is not actual tag, but make it so that like part of the tag sticks out across there. You cover any part of that and it breaks up the whole, oops, there's my mistake, and it doesn't look as obvious. Okay, so we got that one. Very quickly, gift card holders. You can make these with, this is 3.5, I want to say 3.5 by 5.5. So you can make them out of cardstock, you can make them out of DSP, and they're very easy. You're basically just scoring a flap and scoring it in the middle and decorating it. How easy is that? Last one I'm going to show you, because that's 801, is this. Oh, did I show you my cute little lamb? So in the online store, in the paper pumpkin section, we have these little baskets. These are not baskets, these little bags. And you can stamp on them. What you want to make sure you do is pick darker colors, not a pale pink. You want to make sure that you do a better job of centering your eggs, because my pink is actually overlapped by the blue ones. And it is a little tricky to get like a really crisp, clear image. If you have a well-inked ink pad and it is, like I said, a bit, one of the darker colors. This is Balmy Blue, and this bottom one here was Fleur de Flamingo, and then I used Melon Mambo. And they're not perfect. It still looks cute, right? And it's still, I was going to put a little bunny tag here. That's why there's nothing stamped in the corner. You can't stamp very close to the edge because of the seam, but you can make it work. I always put a piece of cardstock or chipboard or something in between so that anything I do on this side does not go through to the other side. That is most important if you decide to color. So the reason this is only half done is so I want to show you something. I stamped this bunny, oops. I stamped this bunny in Memento, black Memento, and colored him with just the light color gray blends. Well, and a little bit of pink, but mostly just the light smoky slate. This one I stamped in the saddle brown Stays On. So either one, the outlines worked just great. This one I started coloring with one of the Stampin' Up! Markers. Now, I was worried about this one bleeding. This one did not bleed at all. This one, though, shows, it looks like crayons. Like it's picking up all of the texture. I was totally not expecting that. I was expecting the bleeding, and I was expecting this one to work, and it was totally the opposite. So I will show you, though, when you are coloring on something like this that is porous, do not at any point hold your marker in one place. Like if you're pausing and you hold it, it will like bleed out. I'm going to see if I can do this like this. I'm leaning on my elbows now, trying to brace myself. All I did was I made sure that when I was coloring, I started a little ways back from the line just to see if it was going to spread first. Once I did that first little bit, then I went closer to the line. I couldn't really get the shading like it didn't seem like when you're coloring on cardstock, you can go over a bit more. I didn't want to go over too much because it started to look wet. But as long as you start kind of away from the line and wait and see what it does. And that's the bullet tip. And this is not as easy as you might think. And this is the brush tip. And either one of them, like I said, I was shocked that neither one of them bled. And I don't know if it's because this is like a kind of a heavy canvas, but it certainly was way faster to color and looked, oops, just a minute here, I'm going to finish coloring where I can see. I guess I got a little bit of shading, but look how much better the blends look than the Stampin' Right markers. It's crazy. So these are available in the online store too, which you could just decorate up, or you could also just stamp and, you know, let them color them. And then you have little baskets that you can, or little bags that you can put your treats in. So like I said, treat-a-palooza of all of these things. Now Easter is what, three and a bit weeks away. So by the end of this week, I will have taken pictures of all of these just to give you some ideas if you want. And then things like the cross, and I will do it for the, I'll make a DSP one of these as well, and then I'll put the measurements down. This one I made 5.5 because then you can get 4 of them out of one piece of cardstock. When I make them out of DSP, I make them a little thicker so they're not quite as narrow. But and actually, there's a way to do them where you cut down this way. So maybe I'll make that one as well. I'll make an updated one of those, and I'll put those measurements on. If you want the PDF for the baskets, just send me a message so I can email them to you, because like I said, I have issues with the PDFs. And the these baskets, where'd my other one go? Oh, there he is. Or these eggs and that. If you want, I'll take all the pictures of all the different ones. There's not really like a one set size, but if you want, I can put the measurements for like open and the basket and the box version of what I made of these. I can put these measurements down for you so you know exactly how these two are made. I didn't make, well, this one I could too, I guess, as well. I didn't make the tiniest egg, but it, like I said, same principle. Measure your sides, measure your width, cut a strip, you're done. So thank you for joining me on my my treat-a-palooza, my wild ride of baskets and bins and eggs and things. Yeah, if you're interested in an all treat class, let me know, because I'm trying to figure out which occasion we're going to do that for. But as you can tell, I do like making treat holders. So there you go. I hope that you guys will make some Easter treats. I hope you will post pictures of them, because I love to see pictures of other people's treat stuff too. It gives me great ideas. And then I would always give you credit for your great idea too. I think this punch might have retired, but I think this punch might, it was for a while there on the clearance rack, but we have other punches that will be like, that would make very similar ideas. So yeah, there's lots of ways, because this way it could also just be spring. It doesn't have to be Easter. Thank you, Sonia. Yeah, the ideas are always there. My head's just going 100 miles an hour. I just wish I had more time to make all the things that I want to play with. So there we go. Thank you, ladies. It was very lovely spending the last hour with you. I'm going to go clean up my desk so I can put my order in. If anybody wants anything on the group order, let me know. And like I said, by the end of the week, I will have some pictures and some measurements on my Facebook page so that you can go and replicate yourself. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great